Welcome back to our channel, YouTube. My name is Kristen Forgione. I'm the founder, creative director, and principal designer here at THELIFESTYLEDCO. And we are at a brand new total home renovation and addition here in Scottsdale. Okay guys, for whatever reason, I always have crap all over my bathroom. Vince hates it, but if you're anything like me, I'm actually a really clean person and I'm very organized, but my bathroom always tends to have product and stuff all over it. So my old toothbrush, I feel like it had this big base, and I just feel like it actually contributed to how messy he thinks my bathroom is. It probably is. So I want it to be more like this side. So this side I haven't really cleaned out, and this side I kind of have. So Suri is a toothbrush that I have been using that I love. It's fully electric. It has this UV case, which is so nice. You also only have to charge it once a month. It also has over 10,000 five-star reviews. So we've all tried electric toothbrushes, right? But this one, it's different because it's so minimal. It's got aesthetics in mind. It has a really gentle, clean. I just put it right here on the base and use it for a month. And then when I need to charge it, plug it in. So it's so easy and user-friendly. The case is actually probably my favorite part. So it just goes right in the case, just like that. You hit this little button and it is UV cleaning. I travel a ton and I love that I can just put this case right in my bag and I know that my toothbrush is clean. Something about having a toothbrush on a countertop of a hotel freaks me out, I don't know. So I like knowing that using the case, it will be clean. Suri is giving our subscribers an extra 10% off of whatever site-wide sale they have. So the code is THELIFESTYLECO10. Use the code on screen as well. It goes for 2 minutes and every 30 seconds it buzzes, and so you know which region of your mouth to change it to. You know I'm all about convenience, which this of course has. I love that I don't have to charge it more than once a month. You also know that I am on a one-woman mission to try and show you all the things in my life that I love that are both aesthetic and design improved, design with intention and livability, and this definitely passes the test. So Suri, an extra 10% off for our subscribers. The code is THELIFESTYLEDCO10, and make sure you see the QR code on the screen. Now, we are going to get into the house tour that I think you guys are going to be so excited about. This is a renovation with addition, and I know that you are always asking us to see more renovation projects, so I think you're really gonna like this one. I think you guys are going to absolutely adore this project. We added square footage, we kept a lot of the existing finishes, which I think is so relatable. We're at about 4,500 square feet, so it's a great size floor plan for any busy family. Lots of open space. We have some really special moments. I feel like this project is really personalized to these clients, so you're gonna get to see a lot of that. This project was constructed by E&S Builders. The architect is Thompson Architecture, and then of course us and our team, MacKenzie. Chady is the lead designer on the interior side, and there are so many layers to take in. I think as you look around, you're gonna notice it's a real kind of California living meets Nancy Meyers, Diane Keaton vibe. The project name is #Casa de Cali, and if you want to look on our website to see any of the furnishings, or of course visit the portfolio, you can always do that at thelifestyleco.com. Just type in that hashtag and then we will put it in the description in case you couldn't figure out what I was saying with that project name. But we're gonna get right into it, you guys. I'm going to make sure that when we edit this, we put some of the before photos and maybe even a video, because you will not believe how different this space looks while keeping almost everything in the kitchen. So when we got this project, it was obviously much different. As I mentioned, there's some addition spaces, but there were 2 huge pillars right here that were quite literally holding this up. So when we went to figure out what is this gonna look like, we actually drew 2 plan sets. The architect and our team put together, what are we gonna do if when we get in there, we can't demo those pillars, and what are we gonna do if we can? So as you can see, they're gone. So it was really, really exciting when we heard in the field that we could actually demo them and open all of this up. So that's what we did. The refrigerator was existing. It was actually stainless steel, and we had new panels fabricated with new hardware so that we could really unite all of this together with panel ready appliances. The countertops were existing. We think this is a quartzite of some type, but because it was all existing, when we went to redo the island, we had to be really specific with which countertop material we selected because, as you can tell, this is a beautiful natural stone. We're not gonna ever see this exact same slab again. So matching it was really not an option. So what do we do, if you've been watching this channel for a bit, when we have something that's like really characteristic and telling a lot of the story already in a finish? We kind of have to go the complete opposite. And so that's what we did here. So this is a outdoor quartz. It's called fresh concrete. It's super durable and it's nice and static. So you can see how well they played together. One is not doing a lot of talking and one really is. And so that's the existing finish. We demoed the old hood. It was not doing us any favors and went for something that was just a little bit more traditional. This swoop is really beautiful. And I also think this gives you such a great idea if you have a low ceiling in your kitchen. Every hood doesn't need to go 20 feet in the air to be really statement making and tell the story of the design. So this was a big one for me. At one point we were trying to decide, okay, are we gonna demo the hood? Aren't we gonna demo the hood? I'm really glad we did. This was nice and simple. Knowing when to stop is also really important. And I think that this demonstrates that. What else? The sinks are the same. We swapped out all of the plumbing finishes and you guys throughout, you're gonna see like there's construction happening. A lot of it. The exterior is not finished yet. And oh my God, it's so good. I might walk you out there if we have time because this whole Ramada is brand new. So we created this synergy between, I'm standing at my kitchen window, I wanna be able to see out, I want to unite this huge backyard, we're on almost an acre, and I wish it was done so that you could see it, but it's not. So it happens a lot. So anyway, so I do feel like the livability of this floor plan is amazing. Did I already tell you that the appliances are all existing? So they were all here and we were able to work with them completely and make it all make sense. So right behind you is the great room. If you find yourself needing a perfect, family-friendly, California style, easy breezy, great to live in and eat on, this dining situation has become like one of my favorites. It's all available from us. You can literally order it right up. I think the thing I love the most is the line on this chair, which I think you'll be able to take it in. I don't know, whichever way looks best, but these are performance fabric. I love this line. It's just such a great wood tone. It complements the flooring as well, which I know you guys always ask which flooring we are using in our projects. We have been on this like Provenza Affinity kick for longer than I probably like to admit. I don't know why try to fix it if it's not broken, right? This color, however, is called a firm, and we usually use a lot of contour. So this is just a little bit lighter. I think both are very interchangeable. If you're out there looking for flooring, you should look at both colors. If you're looking for this like really balanced Euro oak look, I love it. I love how it has a little bit of wire brushing, has, I'd say, a little bit lighter properties than like a whitewash, which end up working beautifully off of these beams. So when you take in the before photos, you're going to immediately notice the beams were painted black. And listen, it happens. Like, we've painted plenty of beams in our careers black and they can work. However, when there's this many and they're this big and the ceiling height is what it is, the black beams were like suffocating. They really were. It was the one and only thing you noticed when you walked in. And so our first order of business was, okay, we definitely need to lighten those up. So what we were going to do was paint them some sort of accessible beige or grayish or something like that. Thankfully, our clients, literally the 11th hour, were like, you guys, I know we said we weren't budgeted for this. I know we said it's probably not possible, but can we explore taking these back to a natural wood tone? We were all very cautious. We were like, listen, this is one of those things that like doesn't have a guarantee. Once we get in there and we start either having to sandblast, which is very expensive, or trying to work with a paint and a gel stain combination, we just don't know what it's gonna look like. Like, I scared them half to death. I was like, FYI, like, I'm not dying on this hill, it might not work. It worked. And how incredible. I truly feel like now that I've seen them back to this like beautiful wood tone and look, I cannot imagine them any differently. So the way we did this was with just a solid paint and then went over it with a gel stain. It turned out better than I could have ever imagined. And I truly feel like this is one of those things where the design gods were just on our side. If you're out there and you're looking at your painted beams and you're like, oh, I could totally do this, just proceed with caution, because I don't think that this happens every time. I think usually it can turn out just looking like not great. So anyway, so I'm so thrilled with it. The strapping, like the actual corner joints that are black metal, turned out looking really intentional. I just feel like they feel so restored and they look like we built the house around them, which is exactly what we want with beams. So anyway, I know that was like a whole rant, but these beams, you guys, we were so thrilled. We were so thrilled when it worked out. So now they can do all of the talking, and that's what we like to see. Back to this space, great room. Of course, family centric, right? This is where we live. We started with a really intentional rug that grounds the space, really friendly for traffic, kind of this vintage inspired moment mixed with this subtle striping, lots of pattern play here, but subtle. You can see that this is a neutral palette, but definitely a palette that is really translatable and still feels like there's color. Like it doesn't feel to me like it's sad beige. It feels, which I love beige, as you know, but it feels a little bit more, I think, layered and a little bit calmer. So fireplace is existing. This is actually what we got when we got the house, and it's beautiful. So we didn't have to mess with this a whole lot. We did replace the surround, which is a perfect tone in limestone. The picture light is also something that came with the house, so we were thrilled about that. I love how it looks a little bit aged. And then we added this beautiful piece of art and of course the sideboard. But all in all, simple, easy to live in. Window treatments, we had to shut these things because like I told you, it's messy out there, but with them closed, you can see how incredibly beautiful they are. And anytime we get an opportunity, especially in a great room space or a big space, to add this much drapery in a 3 stack across, what is that, probably like 220 inches, do it, it's worth it. As we transition back to the primary wing, we have a coffee and bar moment here. We also have what could have been such an eyesore. This register is humongous, obviously, and it's existing. There's nothing we can do about it. This happens, you guys. This happens in projects. It happens in new construction. Like we have to live in our homes. There has to be HVAC. All of those things are all very happening and possible and have to be there. So what do we do, right? As designers, of course, like, do I want this here at this like vantage point? No, but does it need to be here? Especially when we're inheriting all of the gifts that renovation give? It is what it is. So what did we do? We specified this beautiful, oversized, intricate, giving that Spanish, right? Like California cool in the pattern here. This is what we had to do to make it feel like it was way more intentional and part of the design. Honestly, now I love it. I look down at this vantage and I'm like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. This kind of mimics a star and cross, which is very common in Spanish architecture. And then above it, we placed 2 of our micro art prints, excuse me, which I think are just so perfect and dainty. I could definitely see, right? Like I go to so many consultations and homes all the time and I can see someone saying like, oh, we need something big here because it's this big wall and it's what you see from the, right as soon as you walk in from the corner or from this side. Just because it's something that you see straight on doesn't mean that it needs to like have some huge 24 by 36 piece of art. I actually love, again, this is a great representation of when you know how to practice restraint, just something small and intricate and delicate. And it plays off of what we have here. So this is coffee bar, both coffee bar and bar moment. And I'll tell you something, in the renovation before demo, those pillars that I mentioned in the kitchen, the built-in coffee machine, espresso machine, was actually built into that pillar. It killed me so much because like from a kitchen design standpoint, it's just like not the best. So this was kind of dead space. I wanna say it was like a landing zone or a cabinet, desk, I don't know, something, but it was not doing anything. And we actually have a lot of really great depth here adjacent to this exterior door that goes out to the front courtyard. So we needed to come up with something that could complement the kitchen, but that could stand on its own, and it's not wide, right? So this is like, I wanna say maybe 84 inches wide, so maybe 7 feet. So we've got built-in espresso, plenty of storage up top, this little drawer here, which is for all of your coffee supplies. You always wanna make sure that you have something adjacent to a built-in espresso area or anywhere where you're using an appliance. Wine fridge is below, and then drawer storage. And I love the opportunity to create something special, right? We always talk about these small special moments. It doesn't have to be big to be beautiful. This is maybe 54 inches wide. And we added the gallery rail, styled it beautifully. Now it plays both morning bar and evening bar. It's also self-serve. It's also right off the kitchen, as I mentioned. So from a livability, like entertaining standpoint, it is perfectly positioned to make it so easy for your guests to make their own drinks, for you to make coffee in the morning, grab water bottles, however it works best for you. I know you're thinking, is she gonna tell us that cabinet color? And I am. It is Benjamin Moore Natural Cream. And the wall color is Sherwin-Williams Alabaster. If this is your first time on the channel, at the end of the video, there's what we call a stat card. And the stat card is all of the answers to all the questions that we think you're gonna ask, because we know what you like from us. So we'll put room sizes, we'll put ceiling heights, we'll put the all over flooring, the all over paint, anything that we know is pretty commonly asked, we'll dump there. So make sure that you watch all the way till the end of the video and check the stat card. Guest rooms can be a little bit tricky, right? Because it tends to be something that falls lower on the priority list than some other spaces. But I think this is a great example of a truly layered, beautiful guest room that is going to be so tranquil. It's also, this particular room is a really big space. So we were able to fit a king bed, these beautiful nightstands. I love the pattern play in the alternating sizes of the larger stripe and then the smaller stripe. This pillow, you guys, it's from a little place called THELIFESTYLEDCO, and it's coming home with me. I might just take it right off this bed. Okay, no, I'm gonna leave it for our clients, but I love it. It is so gushy. Oh, you wanted away from my mic. Sorry about that, guys. But the pillow, she's an expensive one. She's an investment, but look at her. Like, look at how much talking she's doing. Double stuff the duvets, you know that's a Elco standard. It gives us that gush, right? All of that volume off the bed that we love. What did we want in this room? Also from a furniture standpoint, you can see that a lot of the choices that we made in furnishings in the great room, and as you see the rest of the spaces, are classic. They're traditional. They feel traditional, right? Like they feel grown up. In here, we wanted it to maybe feel a little bit more playful. So being able to use a little bit of a swoop in kind of the bed frame and the silhouette allows us to signal the eye that, hey, this is a little bit more playful space. We have personality in here. It's not so committing as some of the other furniture choices need to be because they're building on that portfolio so much. So if I'm giving you any advice, it's only to say, like, get a little extra with your guest rooms, right? Guests love that. Think about when you go to a hotel. It doesn't feel safe, depending on which hotel you go to, but for the most part, right? And we want to be able to continue to tell the story of the home so that when our guests are here, they feel like they're really special. Attached to the guest bedroom is the guest bath. And I'm gonna say this a ton of times during this project, just because it's so refreshing to show you spaces that probably feel a little bit like the space that you're working with at home. This is not a big bathroom, right? But it's an ensuite, it has natural light, we're getting everything we need in shower, vanity, lots of storage, and I love that. So I really, really appreciate how relatable some of these spaces are, and it's a great example of how we can layer them and make them feel really, really finished. In the shower is a subway tile that's beveled. It is a great, cheap, and easy SKU. It's from Lowe's. Cannot express enough how much I love it. It is approved. We will link it in the description for you so that you can order it right up yourself. But something that we always do in smaller spaces, typically, especially if it's an ensuite, we don't go too crazy with the shower tile, right? We're trying to make sure that it's subtle and subdued, and we're letting some of the other finishes do the talking because it's small. In this case, the wallpaper, and I have to take a moment to thank our clients for going the distance with me. This wallpaper is from my collection with Urbane Walls. Seeing your own stuff installed in real life in client homes where I wasn't like, you have to use my wallpaper. We were like, here's 10 wallpapers. Which one do you like? And they picked this one. It's so rewarding and I love it. So this is a combination of a stripe and a dot. I wanted it to feel really artisanal. In my head, it was perfect for like this Nancy Meyers, Diane Keaton, California cool style. And I think it's translating so well here. We also worked on some color play here. So this is kind of a deep chambray, and then this we go to almost like a sagey green. So again, a license to get a little bit more playful. You can see how we're using curved lines here in the bathroom and also those curved lines in the bed that I just showed you. These sconces are from Ballard, a great find, and then we swapped the shades that they came with. Did they come with a shade? As I'm saying this, I'm thinking maybe they didn't come with a shade. we wanted shaded, so we added this shade. So we'll make sure we link those if the products are still available. The Taj Mahal in here is absolutely stunning. Again, high-end materials, a little bit of square footage so we can use those high-end pieces. We went with an OG edge here on a 2cm. This beautiful faucet is also from us. We love, love, love how it all turned out. I just think this is like, I mean, if this was like an Airbnb or a hotel, I would die to check in here. We really turned up the mood in this mudroom. From the very beginning, we knew we wanted to color drench it, so we did all walls, all base, all ceiling, and all of the cabinetry in Urbane Bronze. It is one of the most dynamic colors I personally think out there. It's featured in our work all the time because it's just so strong, never goes rogue on you, never has any weird undertones, and that's what you're seeing here. So overall, our clients just wanted it nice and open. Likely, like all mudrooms, this bench will be filled with all the things at some point. We also have on either side of the access point from the garage, we have floor to ceiling cabinets, tons of armoire storage so that they can put karate gear, tennis gear, baseball gear, dance bags, all the things. We also, again, wanted to make it feel a little bit more bespoke and like it had been here a while. So we went with this aged wood rail that we then selected these hooks, which kind of, I feel, look a little vintage, right? So we wanted them to feel like this space had been here for a while. We then capped it with these picture lights, which are a little bit of an untraditional use of a picture light. I feel like you typically see that over a built-in bookcase or, of course, a picture of some type art. But here it provides such a great amount of light without being really, really super bright. Then on the flooring, I cannot let you leave this space without looking at it. This is a custom lay and pattern from Ardo. It is giving us all that rusticity that Saltillo tile might give in a true Spanish, but in a really updated shape and silhouette. And overall, it pairs absolutely perfectly with the Urbane Bronze. The primary wing is where one part of the two-part addition came into play. And this beautiful door is exactly the way we wanted it to be. And I love when that happens. So it's a full, complete arch, all in white oak with this beautiful kerfing. Come in, come in, come in. Also, you may have noticed the interior doors in other parts of the home. These are different and on purpose, right? So we intentionally made these doors different, and I think it paid off. So don't be afraid to do that. In an area that makes sense, primary, an office, even a den or a movie room, you can absolutely play with a little bit different profile or a lot of bit different profile than what's happening in the rest of the house. These are also 8-foot doors. The rest of the home are standard door height. So that can happen too. You know, we love a primary bedroom that just like feels like a warm, calm hug, and this one is no exception. The bed, this is one of my favorite beds because it's just so simple, but provides so much contrast. I absolutely love it. I feel like it's something that will be timeless and never, never go wrong on you. Played with, again, a little bit more texture in the lighting, going for a darker wood tone in here. So where you saw a lot of white oak in the rest of the house, you'll see in the primary bathroom, which is like my new favorite. They're all my favorite, but this one's like really my favorite. These clients were really into this darker wood tone, so I'm so happy that that's starting to come through. Beam work in here. The beams that we have in here are faux beams, where the beams that you saw in the great room are actual real beams. And we use the same stain formula, for lack of a better term, on these beams as we used in the great room, or actually vice versa. We came up with this beam formula and then used it in there as well. So they do a lot of talking. These are hand-hewn beams, which means that they just look a little bit more beat up than what we've got over there in the great room. The wall color, accessible beige, again, just like warm hug, warm hug, warm hug. We also ran it onto the ceiling. And this is a really good tip if you want to void your warranties, but pays off so well. We actually painted the ceiling fan to match the wall color and the ceiling color. So it's one of those things where like, listen, I think the fan was $200. I would much rather see a tonal look than that like stark white fan or a black fan. So we did it. We said, spray it and we'll see what happens. And we have done it before and it's worked out really well. So if you wanna go rogue, live on the edge, paint your ceiling fans. Into the primary bathroom. So again, another door that mimics the entry into this space. All this storage. Look at this wood tone. Look at this hardware. Oh, can you imagine being able to have that much storage? I'm gonna take you in here next. So when we showed our client this cabinet design 18 months ago, it was still like kind of new, you guys, this whole new old. That sounds so stupid to say because dark wood is obviously timeless and has been forever. But we've seen all white oak for, God, 13, 14 years. And now we're finally starting to see clients, right, actually ask for and be into a darker wood tone. So we were thrilled when our client was like, yes, I want that depth. I want it to feel old. I want it to feel like this is not new. And I really feel like this bathroom is doing so much flexing in not feeling new, right? Modern amenities, of course, like modern conveniences, but we want it to feel aged and rustic and a juxtaposition of what was and what can be. So ways we did that. This hardware, which I know I just mentioned, but my goodness, isn't it gorgeous? The finish on it, I also think is just so beautiful. Then we are playing off of that with this really shallow shaker, like slim shaker profile. And where it gets even better is when you look at this apron front in this Taj Mahal fabrication, how the cabinet line and profile actually follows it completely. So when you open this door, I mean, look at how just gorgeous that is. Oh, it's an architectural marvel. Okay, it's not an architectural marvel, but it's a cabinet marvel because we are thrilled. And when we drew this up and designed it, we were like, oh, are they gonna be able to get this right? Like, I don't know, it's risky, but I do feel like it has just paid off beautifully. So design started with the dark cabinetry, knew that profile and palette was what we wanted. Taj Mahal, forever a favorite. It's a quartzite. It's really, really always very natural. This particular batch, I feel like, is the perfect tone of that tan meets like greigey deep, which is where we pulled the tone from the shower, which you're gonna see in a second. Of course, beautiful brass. We also went with kind of a nod to, let's call it, days of past in the bevel in the mirror. So we don't always do that. It tends to go really traditional, and I feel like it really paid off here, and I'm really glad that we did. You have 15 feet of cabinet, side-by-side vanities, of course, sprawling sconce moment. On the floor, this is Ostuni. You guys, I think we've like sold it out everywhere. So unless you really need it, please don't order it because we need it. And this happens every time I tell you some like great spec and then we can't get it, but I'm happy to share because you know we don't gatekeep here. This is called Avorio, so it's a little bit lighter color than what you typically see from us, which is Tufo. Love how it kind of mimics that natural limestone. It has tumbled edges. It is cost effective. It is like one of my favorite flooring pieces. We made it feel a little bit more artisanal and again, like a little aged with this band. This band is handmade terracotta zalige from clay tile. And it is meant to just like give you happiness, to remind you that there was something so intentional that went into this bathroom design. And it's probably one of my favorite parts of this bathroom. Honestly, I just feel like it came together so beautifully and adds just that small artisanal touch. We're gonna turn around and I'm gonna show you the shower. You know we love a shower moment, you guys. This shower moment. Okay, wait, before you come in, notice Borghini on the top. All this zalige. Floor, quite literally to the ceiling. The soldier stack at the bottom, which mimics some of what we have happening even in the exterior, which I love. It's so blended, so natural. It's gonna get really echoing in here, but this entire shower is zalige and Borghini. I mean, what else do we need, honestly? So a tip. If you are laying zalige, if you have an installer who's laying zalige, if you don't know what you're doing with zalige, or any tile that has a lot of variation, you have to mix all of the stock together. So what can happen is if you have a setter or an installer who's just opening the box and laying tile, because there's so much variation in it, which you can see how different these colors are, you're gonna get splotches, like areas where you can see that all of the tile that came out of that box looks the same. And then another area where all of that tile looks the same. Gets really blotchy, really bad. It has to come off the wall and be reinstalled. We call it open boxing. What you wanna do is you wanna get your whole stock. So all of the tile that needs to be laid here, yes, it's time consuming, and you want to mix it randomly. So you want to make sure that if you've got a dark piece over here, you're pulling it. We will dry lay it if we have to on the floor and then really make sure that it looks really varied. Then when it goes on the wall and then is grouted, it looks like this. But if you don't do that, you're gonna have to lay it more than once, and that's not ideal. And it's also delicate, right? So it can break, so don't do that. Just make sure you take that extra step. If you're a designer out there, make sure that you're leaving notes for your trades so that you can help each other and we can get a beautiful product like this. What else can I tell you about this? I love the floor. I love how subtle it is. As I mentioned, you can see the soldier stack and then the 2x2. Everything else is broken joint. The Forgione was tile, not slab, so that can be a cost-saving opportunity. You can do it with slab as well, but it's more expensive. Tile is a great way to keep it a little bit more cost-effective and a little bit thinner material. So we lined the niches with that as well. I just think that this, like, I love my shower, but I can take this one. I can take this one any day. This is another space that we added on, and we're calling this the movie room. It's just funny how, like, sometimes it's a den, sometimes it's a theater. Excuse me, in this case, it's the movie room. And I'm sitting on the most comfortable 139 by 90 inch sectional. No, guys, it's not here. And that happens sometimes, but I will tell you that it is from our brand new made to order collection at the Lifestyle Co. And it is the most incredible, deep performance fabric you've ever seen. Excuse me. It completely complements this insane paint color, which is Sherwin-Williams Turkish Coffee. We have not used it before, and we will definitely use it again because it's such a great color. I feel like it's almost a combination between like a deep chocolate meets like a Bordeaux red wine. I definitely think if you're looking for something deep, it should be a color that you sample. But the sectional's not here. This space is envisioned to be a family space, so we wanted it to lean both ways, right? If the kids are in here watching something, if the whole family's in here, they're going to have this big sectional that they can pile on this side of the room, which will be behind the sectional. Gosh, I don't know what's happening. Never your furniture right against the wall. Never, never, never. I don't care how big the room is. We don't ever want any of your upholstery, any of your furniture touching the wall unless it's a case piece. So in this case, the sectional will kind of be about here. It's 31 inches tall. We started this gallery wall, mixed media, curated at 36. And if you're looking to do something like this, all we did was ask our clients for 4 words. Places they love, things that come to mind, things that represent their family as a whole, and we came up with this. So I wanna say one word was Cabo, which this is Cabo. One of the clients has a tie. Her folks are from the UK. So London is important to them, travel, movies, of course, and then skiing, I wanna say was the other one. So we were able to curate this beautiful gallery wall. I truly think that a gallery curation is like one of the things that sets spaces apart because it makes it instantly feel so personal. Big oversized table for games, of course. Little ottomans if we need additional seating. And then here, this is another piece that we added. This thing is tricked out. We have trash here, drawer storage, again, more storage for games and such, and then a refrigerator for all of their drinks. Big TV. I also love and want to point out, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. You can see all the landscaping back there, but great example of, these are floor to ceiling draperies. These are blackout so that we can get it really dark in here for the movie room. So this is a kind of a mid-size stripe, I'll call it. It's not a cabana stripe, not a ticking stripe, but a mid-size stripe on the drapery. And then we paired that with this, which is obviously a completely different fabric in the Roman shade. So I love how they play together and are actually right next to each other. So it's a really good example of how you do not have to have matching drapery and, my gosh, Roman shade. Sorry, it's coming to me. Not enough coffee. But if you complement them, they can really work really beautifully together. You know, we have a weakness for kids' rooms. Like, they're just so fun to design. This little girl had creative direction energy like me. Like, she was like, I want a canopy bed, and I want scallop paint, and I want blue, and I want pink, and I want butterflies, and I'm a dancer, and all these things. So it makes it so fun when we know that there's a lot behind the design. And so in this case, that's totally where we ended up. This room, it's just all things little girls, and it's makes me happy being in here. We started the design with the scallop paint that you'll see on the walls. kept layering so many different shades of pinks and blues. The gauze on this canopy bed, I think, turned out so just kind of architectural, if you will, as silly as that sounds, but it's really like giving us a lot in this space. Volume, right? You see volume in the bedding, volume in the pillows, volume in the ruffles, volume in even the pendants, which she had to have. She walked into Pottery Barn and said, "Mommy, tell those gals that this is what I want." So that's how we ended up with those pendants as well. But overall, the room is a great size. It just exudes creativity. I mentioned she's a dancer. We added the ballet bar, which I know she's gonna get so much use out of. And then between the mirrors, the ballet bar, this petite little sitting area, which I love so much. She's got an opportunity to put anything she wants on her little pin board and just create so much. And I have to show you, this bathroom is the former primary bathroom. No longer giving old primary bath vibes. Now giving new, fresh, clean, tween girl vibes, which I just absolutely love. You know, I obviously have a soft spot for the tween girls. Vanity, natural cream. We continued the Taj in here. Like, this is a well-appointed bathroom, y'all. We wanted playful. We wanted a space that she could grow with. We wanted a little bit more pattern play in here. So in addition to the natural cream in the cabinet and the Taj Mahal, we laid this about 6x6 star and cross. It's porcelain, so it's really durable. And we also carried it right into the shower. With the shower moment, an opportunity to just make it feel a little bit more special. This space is tiny, right? It's petite, and it only needs to serve purpose for one person, so it makes perfect sense. But we wanted to draw attention up and give her this just really intimate kind of special arch moment, which again helps us play into the Spanish style of architecture, that California cool kind of feel. All over color drench with the pink wall color. This kind of cornflower blue in the scallop is playing off of the paint in her room as well. And then what was something a little bit unexpected, I love the color of these. They're maybe playing a little bit more sienna, and the layering of all the colors together is what's giving us this like really grounded, almost aged feel in a brand new bathroom space. Powder bath, always an opportunity to do something unexpected, but in this powder bath, instead of going dark and moody, we went layered pattern play. The first thing we found in this bathroom is the wainscot tile, which we'll link in the description. It's one of my favorites, so bold and so cost effective. Then we broke that with another beautiful wallpaper from my collection. I am truly so honored that these clients wanted to go so deep with it. I think it's absolutely stunning and creates such a beautiful botanical moment, capped off with a classic Spanish Moravian star. The son's room is another huge room. You guys will notice all of these secondary bedrooms just ended up so big, which will of course be so helpful for them as they grow. But sports obsessed is this kid, and we were able to bring his love of baseball, football, basketball all into this space and definitely give him a room he can grow into. So basketball hoop, open shelving for him to style, of course, a bed moment that can grow with him all the way through his teen years and probably into college. The palette in here is really boy, but I don't feel like it's so dark that it feels like it's closing in on you. It just feels really layered between the whites and the high contrast in the black, the gray walls, and then the focal base and crown. This room actually had crown molding, so it was great to leave it. And then we decided to pair it with the base mold as well and paint the doors that same focal color. So this room just feels, again, so boy to me, and I love it. I feel like he's gonna be able to grow into it so much. There's so much in this house that you can purchase directly from our website. So if you haven't been there yet, thelifestyleco.com, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you can type in the project name, hashtag Casa de Calis with an S proj, and everything that we've used in this project will come up. If it's a hard material, we'll link it in the description for you. Every piece of information we can share, we try to give you so that you can try to replicate our work on your own. Before we finish this, we're almost done. I gotta show you this kid's bathroom. In this bathroom, we let the shower do all the talking and used Marin from Bedrosians in complementing colors laid in a checker pattern, then carried the all over flooring right into the shower. From there, we went with a prefab vanity, kept the finishes nice and masculine, and I think one of my favorite design elements in this space is the sconces. They provide a beautiful amount of ambient light while of course having light overhead. as our clients are coming for the big reveal here in a little bit, but I couldn't let you go without seeing this like so intimate, perfect little entry moment. I think the ottomans are my favorite part for sure. I love that they're skirted. I love that, again, they have that just little micro stripe. This is a found piece that we were able to source vintage, and so I love how those finishes just all came together. Maybe we can have you out once the landscaping is done, because I truly feel like feeling the warmth and the weight of this project between interior and exterior is something that I want you to see. So I don't know, maybe they'll invite us back out. But I have really enjoyed this house tour with you all. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can head on over there and type in @Kristen Forgione. If you would like to follow our brand account, it's over at THELIFESTYLEDCO. And we love to hear from you all in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Can't wait to talk to you on the next one. Bye, YouTube.